Initializing Ethereum protocol. Establishing link to Cloud Citadel. Welcome, Alita Army. You stand at the threshold of quantum consciousness.
Okay, hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream of May the 1st, 2026. Mars Chronicles Chapter 28, True Feelings, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, Creek Indian from Denver, Colorado, or somewhere southwest. And with me from Queensland, or rather Brisbane, Australia, and Queensland, is Angelus. How's it going, Angelus?
Fantastic. Although I do have one question.
Yep.
Is Chapter 28 part of Volume 10?
No, it isn't. Oh, you rascal. Well, that's all right, though. We'll get to it eventually. I see that, let's see. Yeah, Lee is out there. Lee, I'm sorry I sent that link so late. I kind of forgot about it. I got busy doing something else, and I went, oh, crap, I got to send out the links. So anyway, but Lee says he's going to be late, but he's going to try to join us a little bit later. Let's see who else we got. AKA is out there. Good day, mate. And let's see who else. We got Leonardo de Bustos. ¿Cómo está, amigo? And let's see who else we got. That's it for now. And we got some lurkers out there, but that's okay too. You can just lurk yourself away if you want. So anyway, how's it going, Angelus? How are things down there in Bris Vegas?
Oh, sorry, I got distracted because I was thinking maybe one of those lurkers might be Rosa. So you never know.
Cool. And joining us from south of Colorado Springs, Colorado, and Fountain is Lee. How's it going, Lee?
Going pretty good. Just got back from town.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry about the late links. Like I say, I got busy doing something else and forgot about the links. So
That's okay. I only just turned Discord on. I had it turned off until now.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, right. You were in town. Were you in Fountain or were you in Colorado in the Springs?
I went up in the Springs to the Citadel Mall. Had to get one of our dogs groomed.
Oh, okay. Is the history of cowboy history still there in the Springs? Is it still open or what? Is it?
I could not tell you.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just curious because I know that was one of the attractions there in the Springs for a while. So anyway, how are you guys doing? I guess
doing pretty good.
Oh, okay. Angelus, how's it going with you?
Trying to keep the jelly at bay.
Trying to keep the volume 10 memory thing going. Yes.
I wish I could. I mean, then again, a lot of people wish they could have come to London too. So.
Oh yeah. Well, we're going to go back to London, I guess, in July, and surprise our queen. If she's out there, I guess it's no longer a surprise now. But
I wonder if we'll have enough time if we either like made simple cards or perhaps even a video with like a bit of a voice message, like similar to the first Alita Army video, if you will, the old one made by Dan.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
not by Dan, by Pulley. Sorry.
Yeah, Pulley. Yeah, the one where everybody was it the one where they were all singing the swan song, or you weren't? I guess.
No, but like everyone was like speaking about the movie, like what they liked about it, how it affected them, and it had like their tag down the bottom, and like it just had the movie playing in the background.
Yeah, I guess we could do something.
And I'm thinking, like, yeah, we can. Anyone that wants to leave a voice message, can do so. Like perhaps if we were to, like, do a separate stream, if you, for lack of a better term, record the voice messages so they can have their own sort of pop up, and everyone's like wishing Rosa happy birthday, stuff like that, and then you can spend 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, however long it is, showing it to Rosa, and
Yeah, I could probably do a short because I'm gonna start doing shorts because I think YouTube is kind of putting a little more emphasis on shorts these days. So I'm gonna start doing shorts as one of my videos during the week. Because I noted on my channel like 74% of my viewers, my videos over their phones. So I do those, kind of, not 16 by 9. Kind of full size videos. So it's kind of, they have to flip their phones or whatever they got to do, but if I did a short, they could do that. But here's what we could do. We could have people, kind of take their video, take a video of themselves, or they could do it on their computer, or they could do it.
Oh, here we go.
And then, post it, maybe in either, post it in the chat, one of the DMs in, let me get rid of this right here and put yours up. And, maybe have them send me a video like that. Now I'll edit one together and show it to Rosa when we're there. Oh, yeah, here's the one by, yeah.
So it would be like voiced by, at Angelus, or, Creek Indian, or whatever tag they choose to, like, you can make up your own. Because obviously H. Riley, I don't know if that probably isn't like an X tag or something like that. But like yeah, you can have that one. That Alan the Doe. Obviously, he's got his name similar to like the GoFundMe for the LA fires. Like you can
Yeah,
choose to be anonymous and make up your own sort of thing. Voiced by WalkMe, and then Doc Ito,
well, we could
Alita
do
Rising.
the voices too, where it would just be like a still, with that person's voice, and then go to the next still for another person's voice. And it wouldn't have to be a still of them. It could be a still of Alita or Zan or any of them, for that matter. And then happy birthday to our queen or something like that.
And like obviously it wouldn't go. Each message wouldn't go this long, sort of thing. But we can have multiple fans record like a post, and instead of like having this in the background, you can have their sort of picture or whatever the case may be, sort of thing.
Well, maybe a little 1 minute video of people saying happy birthday, Rosa, or something like that, just with their voice. And then, I could show it to her on the phone, so, but we're going to be missing you there, Angelus, because Vladi and Smendrick and I are going to go back. So, we're going to go on her birthday, and I got to figure out what kind of present to get her, for her birthday. I want to get her something nice, and of course I'm going to send her flowers, because that's kind of our thing now. When I go see her, I send her flowers, so I guess we're going to be doing that again,
Yeah. I got lucky in the sense that when I randomly asked Mum, "Oh, can I go to London in January?"
Yeah.
And she just turned around and said yes. It's like, oh. Shit. Okay. I don't think she'll let me go for even for 1 week, sort of thing.
Have you got any annual leave built up, Angelus, or?
I mean, I probably got annual leave for just the London trip, but I mean,
the expense.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, I'd have to be saving like ridiculously elsewhere, like whether it be accommodation or have to fly 14 hours in economy, which will be really cramped and yeah. But at least I got to go once, got to see her live, and that was an experience.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool.
But anyway, so I'll stop sharing that.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're gonna say we're gonna miss you there, Angelus. It'll be like the four amigos or four musketeers, I guess, are not there, but like say Vladi and Smendrick and I will be there. So we'll tell her you said hi when we get there. So what's going to be neat for me when I go back is that back in 1993, I went back. I went to one of my trips to England. I went with my my mother and late stepfather and a former girlfriend, and we went to a play at the Old Vic. They were doing Cats, and we went to see that. And so it's going to be kind of neat for me to go back to the Old Vic. Kind of like 30 plus, almost 30 years or more than that, 33 years. Since I was there last, at the Old Vic. I've been to England, let's see, how many times have I been to England since then? At least 2, maybe 3. I have to, I have to pull the brain, pull the memories out of the brain, I guess. But yeah, that's going to be neat for me, I think, and then certainly seeing our queen again is going to be really neat for me, So anyway, that's going to be kind of cool.
Oh, geez, I'm getting ideas just shooting right out of my head, because I'm thinking, like, aside from the voice messages as well, there still might be some that might, not be capable of joining a stream or joining a voice call, even if it was on Discord even, and we've recorded it that way. But aside from like for example, like having 12, 15, 50 examples of like a hi Rosa, this is Angelus from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, wishing you a happy birthday, and then skip to the next one, and then at the end, have like a scrolling list of those that couldn't record anything but wishing like a happy birthday anyway, and then you'd have tag like Creek Indian or Lee from Denver, Colorado, USA, and then that way, not only are we, like does she realize that the entire army is wishing her a happy birthday, but she gets a. I mean, she's probably, she's an intelligent person. She probably already like has some idea, but she can get a more accurate scope of how big or how rather wide ranging the fandom really is.
Well, what we could do too, and I didn't know that we were going to turn this into a strategy section, but that is good because that something like this would be difficult. It can be difficult to put together. But what we could also do is I could set up a couple of recordings where the people on the panel for Radio Chaos and this stream just come on and we record their voices. They just say happy birthday, Rosa, wish I was there. Or happy birthday from, say, Lee, Lee would say happy birthday from Fountain, Colorado. This is Lee Lemon, and stuff like that, and just record several voices. That would make it easy for me to get the audio, for that. And then anybody else that wanted to wish her happy birthday could either send me an MP3 file or a WAV file, on Discord, or let's say on X or something like, or it could even be on Instagram, or well, I'm not sure about MP3 files on Instagram, maybe. But, just send me a post, of that, a DM. And then I could, putting something like that together would be easy peasy, in terms of editing the video, all I have to do is edit it, in 9:16 format, and have all the names ready to go, and just, kind of put captions on it, like Angelus, Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, and so forth, and then I think that would mean a lot to her, I think, So anyway, well, that's I guess that's a great idea, Angelus. I think that's probably what we need to do. I put it on my phone and then show it to her. So, and she'd love that, I think. So, okay. Anyway, moving right along. I guess we got the LA fire victims fundraiser still going on. We've raised almost $1,800, and all of this money goes to the fire victims. We on the panel here, either on this panel or on the Alita live stream on Radio Chaos, we don't get a dime of this money. We just basically send every penny of it, or every dinero or every pence, or whatever it is, whatever your lowest denomination is, all of it goes to the victims through the Greater Good charity. There you see the link on the image below the screen. That link is down in the description. You click on it, takes you to the website. You click on donate now, and you got 3 ways that you can specify this donation to be presented. You could either put your name in there. You can see that Maxie and I got our names in there, and Angelus's name got rolled off, I guess. But his name is in there. Matter of fact, I might edit next week. I might edit it. Well, next week I'll be in. Oh yeah, I'll be here next week. That's right, because I'm driving to North Carolina on Saturday. But anyway, yeah, I'll get your name in there somewhere, Angelus. And if you're not worried about that, then certainly put your name in. Or you can do like Lee and Alita Rave have done. They just specified anonymous. So you put you stipulate that your name doesn't get displayed. Or you can do like Vladi did. He put Vladi 99. Because they don't really care what you put in there, and then of course once you do click on donate now and you donate the money, you'll see a list of names. Now that's not the most recent list of names right there, because certainly my last donation was 1 year ago, or no, it looks like it's 6 months ago. Wow. Okay. Well, anyway, you can see there's been a couple of donations after that, so it's not in any order, kind of thing. So, but anyway, the bottom line is, we want to help these folks out. They are still recovering from this. It's been well over a year and they're still in recovery, and as I've said before, over 6,800 homes were destroyed or damaged by the fire, mostly in the Palisades community, and that's a little community there in Metro LA. And it's awful, so we want to help them where we can. Now I know $1,800 is not that much money, but every little nickel and dime we can throw at them, to help them out is certainly a good thing, because they all of this money goes to them. And one of the things that we all picked, a bunch of us, talked about which charity to give to, and we chose the Greater Good charity because they also help the animals, so we kind of like that. So we went with the Greater Good charity. And we've got the Alita sequel petition going on, and I think we've added 3 signatures from last week. I think not a lot, but it keeps plodding along week after week. Every week we add another few signatures. And, oh, excuse me, Angelus. Oh, be right back, you said. Okay, but anyway, there you see the link on the screen. You that link is down in the description. You click on it, takes you to the website. You sign your name by entering your name and your email address. But once you do sign it, you can specify that your name be anonymous. So if you don't, in other words, see, the internet at large doesn't see your name when you're actually signing the petition. They only see after you sign a petition, then you'll see a list of names pop up on the right there. And if you specified anonymous, then of course your name will not be on the list. It'll just be listed as anonymous. You can also kind of invest, I guess you could say, in the petition itself by putting some money into it. I put money into it in the past, and it does help. I mean, it'll depending on how much you put in there, you could add 1,000 signatures or something like that, and it kind of helps promote. I don't know how change.org does this promotion. Maybe they do it through Google Ads. I'm not sure, but that it does help drive up the signatures. And this is a way for us to remind Disney that we still want these sequels. And it looks like Angelus departed. So anyway, I get he said he was going to be right back, didn't he, Lee?
Sounded like that.
No, there he is. He's back. Yeah. He wanted to change his avatar, that turkey. That's what he wanted. Yeah. So anyway, that's all right. That was a cool get together, wasn't it, Angelus? We had a lot of fun with Rosa on that. Especially when we gave her that necklace, man. She loved that necklace, man. She hung on to that thing, boy. That was kind of cool. But yeah, we all got hugs from her and stuff like that. So she's a really outgoing, loves her fans kind of person, so, which is, to her credit, I think. But anyway, if you can, if you haven't signed a petition, please do so, and help us keep as, our late, guy there, the guy that we really love, John Landau, he said, keep peppering Disney, so that's what the goal is to pepper Disney. So anyway, that is that. And speaking of which, we do have Rosa's Queen Studios bust of Alita. Now, they're still in the box.
I wonder if you can bring that with you.
No, that's going to be a little bit of a reach, I think. Plus, I want Rosa to let me know when she's ready for it. Because if she's in London, she may not have any place for it. And you don't want to burden her with trying to ship it back. So. Plus, I suspect she's waiting for the opportune time, like when they greenlight the sequel. That's probably what she's doing. She did tell me though she wants it, because the first time I met her, I told her we had this bus for her, and she was really delighted that we had gotten this, because as you guys all know, Rosa is no longer kind of on social media, because I think from what she told Charlie and I, that social media is just too toxic, and I agree with her. As a matter of fact, I told her that the reason why I'm on X is the only reason I'm on X is because the Alita Army's on X, And yeah, that's right, Angelus. Charlie Smith and I met Rosa. The very first time I met Rosa was at the Pasadena Playhouse. And of course, the second time I met Rosa or got to see her was also at the Pasadena Playhouse. So the first time, though, I told her we had this and she was just absolutely delighted, and I think her reaction was something like, for me, like something like that, I guess, and I said, yeah, for you, something like that, because we really love our queen. She's great. We are really fortunate that Robert Rodriguez picked her to play Alita, and just like everything else I've seen her in, she knocks it out of the park. She's a really, really great actor. Just really super. Now this particular bust, in case she's listening or she listens later, this is not like a Hot Toys Alita. This is not a 1/6 or 1/4 scale Alita. This is a 1-to-1 bust. I mean, it's big. This bust right here is probably 2.5 feet tall. That'd be my guess. I mean, since Alita in the manga is supposed to be 4 feet 11 or 1.5 meters, so she's probably if you measured her from the bottom of the stand there up to the top of her head, it'd probably be like 750 centimeters, I guess. And so it's a nice size bust, and you can tell by the box right there, there you see on the floor there in my house that it's big. It's not a little thing. So we really want her to have this. Not as a gift, because when we saw her there in London back in January when she was in that play High Noon at the Harold Pinter Theater, we basically we gave her gifts. We gave her all kinds of like small kind of gifts, and I did give her a picture of this with my this particular picture you see right here, these images. I had my contact information under, but she already had that to begin with. But it was just like a gentle reminder, and I don't want to push her, I really don't. And she knows we have it. She knows we want to get it to her. And for us, this is not a gift. This is an expression of our admiration, appreciation, and affection for her, because she's great. We really love her to death, for sure. And we still got the Alita Gaming Network going on. And, if you're not a member, basically what you want to do is click that particular link that you see below our Chibi Lita mascot right there. That link is down in the description. Also, you click on that, it takes you to Discord. Now, if you don't have a Discord username, then it will prompt you to join Discord. And if you're kind of reticent to do so, and you say, well, I don't want to spend another X number of dollars a month for another service like that, because all these little services that you get into, it's like a death by 1,000 cuts almost. But they do offer a free service, and it's absolutely free. So once you join Discord, then you'll get that invitation link to the Alita Gaming Network. You click on that, and that is absolutely free. We do not charge for you to be in the gaming network. So we just want to have this thing for fun. This is for anybody that wants to join that loves Alita and that kind of thing. So we basically you join, and then you'll get a lot of folks in the members sending you those cute little gifts that are waving hi and all that kind of stuff. Welcome to the network and stuff like this. If you do live streaming, like I see Chaos is out there, he does live streams from time to time. And of course, I don't do it every week, but I'll put the link to this stream in the live streams channel. And Maxie will put the Radio Chaos link in the live streams channel as well as part of his advertising. And you can click on it, and it takes you to, in the case of this stream, or Radio Chaos, or even Chaos Nova streams, it takes you to YouTube, and then it plays the, whatever stream, when it's on. And even after it's over the stream, you can view it as a video. If you do fan fiction, like Lee does, I mean, last week Lee was gracious enough to read chapter 24 from his fanfic, and I guess I'm going to have to get on the stick, Lee, because you're going to catch up with me if I don't start doing a better job of reading it.
Getting close.
Yeah, getting close to it, But yeah, I think Maxie and Lee, they got like novel length fanfics in there, and they're really excellent reading. You know, that's one Benny you get with that. Channel does not exist. She has several fanfics out there that are shorts. Panini Freak has got a fanfic out there, a short, and so do I. I have a short fanfic out there as well, which is actually a video. And it's a YouTube video, but it's still a fanfic, you know, and it's got, you know, narrative or dialogue and stuff like that on, you know, part of the screen, and it's got images and stuff like that, so you can, you know, kind of see the images and read the story at the same time, you know, that kind of thing. If you do artwork or videos, you can post those in the user creations channel. And if you know, and if I don't know how big these files have to be. The limit, I think it's like 2 megabytes, I think, if I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that, how big it is. But if you're, you know, if you're whatever file it is, if it's too big, then of course you can, you know, you can actually put a link, you know, to another service. Like Lee has his link to his particular fanfic to Archive of Our Own. Is that AO3? Is that right? Lee, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Archive of Our Own is the full name. AO3 is what we call it for short.
Yeah. So in other words, you click on that link and it takes you to Archive of Our Own. Then you can start reading it, you know, and it has a selection menu drop down that you can pick the chapter and stuff like that, you know. And then of course, if you want to post content that's not Alita related, you put that in the off topic channel, and that's fairly wide open. Now, the one thing I will not tolerate in the off-topic channel, or any other channel for that matter, is any overt political stuff, you know, like any kind of politics, you know, about a specific candidate. And I'm not just talking about in the US, and I think all you folks in the chat know my political leanings, which definite post I would delete out of the off-topic channel. But let's say if somebody was trying to troll Angelus and they put a post in there about Albanese, you know, then I'd delete that as well, you know, because I want to keep Alita away from politics as much as I can, you know. But some general, you know, kind of political stuff that's not, you know, overtly aimed at a particular candidate or a particular individual, you know, depending on what the nature of the content is, I'll let it go, you know. But usually you know, anything that's overtly political, I'm going to delete, you know. I mean, I just don't want it in there.
Ultimately, everyone's, I guess, free to be their own person, but
yeah,
ultimately the question that we pose to all the members of the Alita Gaming Network is, why would you want to waste time and energy focusing on things in your life, or someone else's life for that matter, that you hate, rather than focus on the things that you love?
yeah.
And in that case, quite often the latter,
Yeah.
you guys also share in common.
Yeah.
I mean, Alita being the the numero uno prime example of that.
Yep.
You know, I'd rather just, you know,
yeah,
talk about Alita, talk about, you know, how to, you know, Rhoda's birthday,
yep.
what sort of videos, that sort of thing. And we'll probably do more of that in the Stammtisch.
Yes.
And yeah, so like, you know, like I said, why waste energy talking about things that you hate or that other people hate?
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the way I feel about it. You know, I mean, let's not waste our energy on negative, you know, stuff about any political thing. You know, I mean, you know, we all love Alita. Plus, the Alita Army is pretty diverse too. I mean, we got all kind of political, you know, individual folks that have wide range and spectrum, and you know, we just want to keep it away from Alita. You know, let everyone enjoy it, you know, type thing. Anyway, I spent a lot of time on the off-topic channel. Sorry about that. We got 3 voice channels as well, and those voice channels are for anybody in the Alita Gaming Network that want to talk to other members in the gaming network. you can do that in one of the 3 voice channels, and none of those channels are streamed. We do not do that. So the internet at large does not see anything that goes on in those 3 voice channels. So the idea is, if you want to, talk to other people in the network, you get on one of those channels, you can invite them. When you get in a channel, the people on the network will see that somebody's in the channel. It'll kind of pop up like a notification. They click on it and they can go to the channel and talk to you. You don't have to have your camera on. It's advisable that you have your mic unmuted to do that, to talk. But it's more like one of those services like GoToMeeting or Microsoft Teams or Zoom, or Citrix, one of those kind of services. And, you just get on there and talk, and only you and the people in that channel, that you're in are going to know what's going on, that you're talking to. Nobody else on the internet can get into those channels. And you don't need my permission either. You just get in there, and you can do neat things like share your screen and stuff like that. I know for a while, Smendrick and Vladi were playing games in the gaming channel. Now, you're not limited to the gaming channel in terms of playing games. You can play a game, and share your screen in the Kansas Bar channel. It doesn't matter. So you can have a lot of fun with that. We also have a watch party, a couple of channels there. Now, the watch party text channel is meant to announce to everybody on the network, hey, we're going to do a watch party. And you can do the watch party. You don't have to wait for me to do it, nor do you need my permission. You just get in there and watch, like, for instance, about a month ago, I guess, Maxie and Lee and I were watching Murderbot, in the watch party channel. And that was one that I guess Maxie was hosting, I guess. I mean, I came on late. They had to rewatch the first 2 episodes because I missed the first Sunday, I guess, or Monday if it's Maxie's time in the future. But, they rewatched the first 2 episodes just to accommodate Creek, so you catch up, kind of thing. Seems like I'm always catching up. That's the whole thing, But I have done some watch parties on there. We've watched Alita Battle Angel, I think 3 times, maybe 4, I think, on the watch party channel. We've watched Chariot, which has Rosa in it. We watched Chips, which also has Rosa in it. We watched Good Crazy, which is a neat short that she put together some years ago, 2017-ish maybe. I don't know about exactly what year it was, but that was pretty cool. A short that she did that I guess Robert Rodriguez helped her out to some degree with that. And that was kind of cool. And we've watched the Star Trek short 3 or 4 times as well. The Trouble with Edward, and what that was about was kind of based on that original series episode about the trouble with Tribbles, except this was the trouble with Edward, and it was how they Tribbles had, Rosa's playing a starship captain, kind of thing, and the Tribbles get into the starship and things go haywire, kind of thing. And it's kind of a comedy type thing, so it's kind of neat seeing Rosa doing that, so, and of course, Rosa's real pretty. We like watching her, so anyway, and so join the network if you want to have a little fun with this, and we'll welcome you when you come in. Okay, guys, I guess be that as it may, I think last time, I think when we did chapter 27, and Lee, you were in there, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were in that particular that episode of this chapter 27 where I guess we saw Doss was facing off against Gilliton, I guess.
Yes.
And that's where that left off, and this picks up right after that.
And
So
had apparently sacrificed himself to stop that Gilliton guy.
yeah, and using the word apparently is a pretty good thing because, well, I don't want to spoil, so we just kind of go from there, But anyway, you see, there's Yoko. That's, of course, we all know on this stream that Yoko was Alita's original name when she was on Mars as a little girl, and you see her there having fun, hugging that snowman, I guess, because it does snow on Mars. So, and of course, her and Erica are kind of they're kind of like claimed sisters, I guess, at this time, although they're not really sisters. But okay, so let me get to it, I guess. So there we are, chapter 28, or log 28, as Kishiro calls it, True Feelings. And of course, you know, that woman that I guess is, she's presented herself as Alita's or Yoko's mother. And of course, now she's accepted Erica as well, you know, so she's kind of playing the role of their mother, you know, type thing. So almost like an adoption, I guess. And you see Yoko there points up, look at all the airplanes, you know, so evidently there's some vehicles flying, you know, toward them, I guess, over here, you know, like they're, you know, trying to, I guess, Yoko's trying to signal them to rescue them or something like that. And then, excuse me, Erica, excuse me, just 1 minute. Erica says, "Stop it, Yoko, you dummy. We don't want to be spotted. The Hat Man is taking so long," you know, so I guess that's it. The Hat Man being Doss, I guess, is who she was referring to there. Of course, she doesn't know that he's, you know, he's not going to be able to help him at this point in time anyway. And of course, you see, I guess, it looks like Erica's a little sad, you know, that maybe Doss is not, in her mind, Doss is dead, you know, I guess. Oh, we have Chaos in the backstage here. Hey, Chaos, how's it going, man?
Hi.
Well, you haven't missed too much except me running my mouth.
Well, yeah, I was there at the beginning.
So anyway, you can see there that Erica is, you know, basically looks pretty sad because I think she thinks that Doss is dead, you know. And she looks over at Yoko, says, "You keep watch here, Yoko. Tell me if any bad guys come." And then, you know, Yoko or Alita says, "Aye, aye," you know, kind of like she's kind of growing up a little bit, I think. She's no longer the little 3 or 4 year old toddler. She may be about 5 or 6 right now, I guess. So she's got a pretty good grasp of English at this point, I think. And then I guess I can't tell if that's Yoko. No, it looks like Erica says, "Mama," you know, talking to the woman who's kind of presenting herself as their mother. "I'm sorry that Doss is dead now. They'll find us here soon, you know. We can't escape in this snow, and we'll freeze to death if we spend the night out. Oh, what are you, excuse me. Oh no, what are we to do?" she asks, you know. And then of course, Erica's pretty, how do you say, you know, she's probably got a lot on the ball here in terms of survivability, you know. I mean, she learned from, what's his name? The guy, the Muster, yeah, Baron Muster. So she kind of laughs like, you know, she doesn't see this as a really big issue, you know. And then she says, "Hey, Mama," what is it, Erica? "Do you really love me and Yoko?" And of course she says, "Of course I do." "Do you really love us like we're your own daughters? Really, really?" "Yes, really, really. Is something the matter, Erica?" And Erica pulls out a knife. Now, the thing about Erica, when you see this, you know, this is a little girl who killed her actual parents because they were mistreating her, you know, and I guess let the dog chew her hand off or something like that. So, you know, Kishiro's really tough on his characters. And she says, "Would you die for your daughters? And would you die for your daughters, wouldn't you?" You know, and she pulls that knife out. And of course, Erica, looks like Erica stabs her, you know. And Yoko and I are going to let Marquise catch us. It's the only way for us to survive. And you'll get the blame for all of it, Mama. So she's really kind of she's well down the path of evil at this point, isn't she? She says, you terrifying child. And she says, "I won't pull the knife out. It's stuck in your heart." So, boy, gosh, she is really pretty ruthless. "That will only make the blood flow out faster and you'll die." So anyway, there you see the woman there kind of gasping for air. The knife is in the center of her chest. Now, she said, Erica looks at her with a kind of demonic looking smirk of sorts. He says, "Tell me now, Mama, do you really still love me?" And then Yoko turns around and says, Mama, what happened? You're bleeding. And then the woman says, Yoko. And then, of course, she's kind of, I guess she's losing consciousness at this point. And the woman says, I'm sorry, Yoko, Mama's going to die now. And then Yoko says, but why? Mama, you can't die, Mama. And of course, at this point, Yoko's just a little kid, so she doesn't understand. And of course, the woman, I guess, thinks, oh, what a miserable end to an insignificant life. And then stabbed in the heart by a little girl and left to die against these freezing rocks. And then Yoko grabs her, hugs her, says, Mama, kind of yells out loud. And then she says, pain, pain, go away. Still seeing the knife. She's waving her hand above the knife, trying to think magic will save her. Pain, pain, go away. Come again another day. Yoko, the woman says, Yoko, before I go, there is one last thing I need to say to you. I never had any hope from the start. So, I guess she's kind of going back to like a flashback of sorts, to when she was younger. And I hated competing with others, so instead I tried to live my life without drawing attention to myself. I did have some dreams as anyone else, but I gave up on them early on. I didn't have dreams.
No, not right now. I'll let you know. On the plate, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, you're unmuted there, Angelus.
Yep. Sorry, no, go ahead.
That's okay. I never made a decision of my own. I left the course of my life up to others and to fate. That way, I wouldn't have to take responsibility for any of it. I could withstand the pain as long as I blamed all the bad things on someone else, not myself. And then, of course, there's that guy. I can't remember the guy's name now. I guess he shows up. I guess he's one of the contemporaries of Baron Muster, I guess, but I don't remember his name. A life that was powerless, slothful, and empty. And of course, she's being carried away by, maybe some agents or something like that. This knife stuck into my heart. Is that my recompense? Was it really so wrong to have avoided a responsibility for so long? So she's asking a rhetorical question there. And she says, my real name is Koyoko Bima. I'm not your actual mother. And of course, that surprises Yoko. I'm so sorry, Yoko. It was all a lie. And of course, Yoko was surprised. And then Erica, the little B word, I don't like calling kids that, but that's kind of what she is at this point in her life anyway. Heh, she laughs. Did you hear that, Yoko? She's not your mama. You were being lied to all along. And she seems happy about it, This woman was just a liar. And when she said she loves you, she was lying about that too. And then, of course, Yoko is kind of crying about that. And then the woman says, oh, that spiteful little Erica, she's testing me. You stabbed that knife into my heart to make me tell her the truth, didn't you? You want to know my true feelings, don't you? Very well, I'll play along with your little plan. Be careful. Come here, both of you. It's all right if you forget about me, girls, but I want you to remember these words. I love you both. And that shocks Erica because she thought Erica, we lost Chaos. There we go. Chaos, we lost you. Sorry about that.
No, that was my fault.
Oh, okay. But anyway, she tells him, I'm sorry?
I went out of the window for streamer by mistake.
Oh, okay. Anyway, the woman says, I love both of you. I have led an empty life, but this is one part I won't let go. And that surprises, as you can see, my cursor right here. Maybe you can't see my cursor there. There it is. That surprises Erica. She was expecting this woman to be hateful or just continue the lying or whatever she was doing, and then say that she didn't really love them and stuff like that. And now she's got this look of almost like, oh shit, what have I done? You know, that kind of thing, you know. So maybe it's a little bit of a, I guess, a little bit of a recompense on her part too, as well, you know. And then, of course, Yoko says, Mama, Yoko loves you too, Mama. And then Erica then screams out, you're lying. Let go of me, liar. And then the woman says, I'm not lying. This is the kind of woman I am. I love you girls, both of you. And then, of course, Erica doesn't look like she can stand it because I think she knows she screwed up, you know, and of course, Yoko is hugging her. And then one of the aircraft, you know, lands, I guess, and I guess they find them. And you can see here, if you see my cursor there, it looks like military type personnel. And then there's the woman, you know, she's dead at this point. And you know, there's Erica. Yoko is crying, and it looks like Erica's got a little bit of a look of grief on her face, doesn't she? I mean, she's not crying like Yoko is, but I think she feels like
She looks angry to me.
Yeah, maybe so. She might look angry. Like you say, Lee, she might look angry because she knows she screwed up. You know, she knows, okay, I killed this woman because I thought she was lying, but she's really not. But not, at least not lying about whether she loves us or not, you know. And I think that pissed her off, maybe. Or she could actually have some grief about it too, you know. So anyway, I guess one of the military guys says, so this woman hired some ruffians to help kidnap you. And when she realized she could not escape, she killed herself. And then one of the guys says, oh, foolish woman. You know, looks like pulls a knife out, I guess. Or no, didn't pull the knife out. This is not a suicide stabbing. Now Erica looks like, what? You know, like, uh-oh, shit, kind of thing. Huh. Then I suppose we shall accept this story. And then, of course, you know, they leave the woman there, you know, in the snow there on Mars, and Yoko's screaming, Mama. And then Erica says, don't be stupid, Yoko. You know she was an imposter. She wasn't your real mama. And then Erica turns around. I mean, Yoko turns around. Now Yoko's mad. You know, Yoko says, you're wrong. She is Yoko's mama. And of course, there's a picture of her in the snow with a knife in her chest. And that's the end of the story. Boy, Erica's really, she's really something, isn't she? So I think this is the beginning of when, you know, Yoko and Erica start
Drifting apart a little bit.
Yeah, start to drift apart, part ways, whatever you want to call it, because later on, these two get in a pretty vicious fight, you know, and I'm not going to spoil, but, you know, it's a life or death battle type thing, you know. And at this point, you can see that Yoko, or Alita, is really mad at Yoko. She's, you know, I think she no longer thinks of, at this point, I bet she no longer thinks of Yoko, I mean, of Erica as her sister, you know, or at least in that.
I think she does for now. I think this is the start of the separation between them, but
yeah,
it'll probably take a while because it's years in the future.
Yeah,
when the two of them actually come to blows, real blows.
Yeah. Well, she looks pretty mad right there. You know, like you bad person or something like that. You know, that a kid, you know, would say. And of course, yeah, you're right. AKA poor little Yoko. I mean, she, you know, she believed in this woman. Now the woman was lying to her about being her mother for sure. You know, but she did love the girls. You know, and then of course, I think even though Erica was mad and all this stuff, and you know, wanted to expose her as a liar and all that, even though she was angry and stuff. I think, this is my opinion. I think she does have maybe a tiny bit of regret because she stabbed somebody in the heart who loved her, as opposed to her parents who didn't love her and abused her, and she killed them. You know, I wouldn't say anytime you kill anybody, it's a good thing, but to me, that was a little bit more of a justifiable homicide type thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
but this one here is not, you know, and I think she, in my opinion, I think Erica does have maybe a little bit of grief, you know, going on, you know.
Possibly. I suspect she's probably at the point where she can't really accept that anybody could be good towards her.
Yeah.
I think with everything she's been through, plus the time she spent with Baron Muster and the betrayal from that assassin,
Yeah.
who pretended to actually care about her and in fact hated her and tried to kill her afterwards. I think that's kind of cemented in her mind at this point that there is no one out there that could actually care about her, and if they say they do, they're lying.
Yeah. In her mind, yeah. Now, little kids, and I think this would be the case right here. Little kids, a lot of times, they don't, you know, their hippocampus is not fully formed, you know. So, you know, stabbing somebody, an adult like that, when you're in a situation, she didn't know those. Well, maybe she did know the airplanes were coming because Yoko saw them, you know. But you know, it's pretty. I don't know. It's not an advisable strategy to stab somebody in the heart like that when you maybe are kind of depending on them for your survival, you know. Maybe, but of course, she did know the airplanes were coming. The aircraft, so maybe that was part of it, you know. But,
yeah, like AKA was saying, there's like Erica is really a victim of really bad circumstances.
yeah,
I do feel sorry for her, but I also see that she's starting to turn into the kind of monster we're going to see later on.
Yeah. Gesundheit. Yeah, she's definitely she's well down the way down that path, isn't she?
Mm-hmm. Part of that I blame on Muster because he helped that along.
Yeah, and there's the guy right there. There he is, Muster. There. That looks. Yeah, that is Muster, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep, that's him. So anyway, there you see Yoko's crying, and yeah, I don't know about that look on Erica's face right there. I think you might be right, Lee. It maybe is mostly anger, but I do think there's a little bit of grief in there because she might have thought, well, I did stab somebody in the heart that might have loved me, you know?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think you're right, though. I think she is mostly angry because, you know, that.
Well, look at the way the eyebrow is over her one eye and everything. The set of the mouth, it looks like she's just angry about the whole thing. Like there's no way that the woman was telling the truth.
It could be sniffling a little bit too. You never know, you know. But this look on her face right here is like one of non-acceptance. You know, no, I don't believe this woman. You know,
definitely resisting it and not believing it.
Yeah, maybe 90% resisting and not believing in it, but I believe another 10% is, oh shit, maybe I'd made a mistake.
Mother figure may have been a bit manipulative, but Erica, no less manipulative.
Much more manipulative, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
On her way to being psychotic at that.
Yep.
I mean, someone who absolutely was not a threat.
Yeah.
And you treat him like that?
Yeah.
I don't think she had to try to compound Erica's grief. Erica is compounding her own grief.
Yeah, I think so. In case you heard that buzzing, that was another spam caller trying to reach me. God,
I had somebody give me a call this morning on Discord. And I had Discord turned off. Apparently they expected me to reply, even though it should have been very visible that I wasn't connected at that time. And the thing is, I'm not even sure who it is. So it's kind of odd. I got a kind of a semi-random call from somebody. But a bit of a side thing.
Yeah, people trying to, you know, con us out of money or grift us, I guess. You know? She had left her alive, they'd all been dead. I don't know, AKA. I think what might have happened, because I think Muster wants Yoko, and of course I think, you know, kind of Eric is almost like his daughter at this point, I guess. So he wants them alive. But I think you might be right, AKA. At the very least, I think to a point where maybe he would have killed the woman, you know. Because I wouldn't put it beyond him. He's like Nova, actually. A bit of a prick, as they would say.
Yeah.
Down in Australia, right, Angelus?
Yeah.
So that's graphic. I tell you, and Kishiro really does. He's really rough on his characters, isn't he?
Well, much of what he portrays that average people go through isn't much different than a lot of people in some of the more, what's the word? I want to say harder hit areas, but then harder hit by what? Natural disaster, war, what have you?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you've got some real horror stories out there. If you dig around a bit, people who go through some really terrible things.
Well,
that makes some of the stuff that Kishiro writes look a little lighthearted.
Yeah. Well, I know that Fukushima earthquake in 2011 was pretty bad. So, of course, this was all written way before then. But, you can see there this woman, Koyoko, what's her name? I can't remember her last name. We'll see it in a minute. She may have been, at least had the dreams to be, or may have been married with a little kid. But if so, looks like they died, in the war.
Yeah, she had a family, and then they ended up dying through some means or other.
Yeah, so she's
famine, war, disease.
Whatever. Yeah, something like that. So she was kind of, as they would say in England, a poor old soul,
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Erica was basically trying to get her to admit she didn't love them and all that, I think, to basically turn Yoko to be as cold as she is becoming.
Well, here's the thing. One of the reasons why I think, well, maybe Yoko has maybe a tad of grief, but I think another reason why she is mad is because after stabbing her and saying, "Do you still love me?" Like a little shit, she is in this particular case. She says, "I still love you." That probably pissed Erica off because, like you say, Lee, she was trying to get her to say, "I don't love you."
Yeah.
And that,
or "I hate you, you killed me,"
yeah, that
stuff
kind
like that.
And she didn't do that,
I mean, every time she's had somebody profess to care about her, they turned out to be a fake. I mean, her parents, you see how they treated her. The assassin who played along pretending to care about her and actually wanted to murder her.
Yeah.
So I think she was trying to basically prove to Yoko that this mother figure was no different than the rest of them and actually hated her secretly. And then her refusing to admit it to any hatred of any kind really got to her.
Yeah. Now, the thing about anybody, now, Angelus will probably, back me up on this. Now, of course, this woman, if she loved these girls, she maybe not react the same way. But see, at this point, Erica is kind of like monologuing, as they would say in some of the that movie, The Incredibles, I guess, monologuing, and holding that knife up like that. Anybody who's been trained, like in martial arts, would have grabbed that little girl's arm right there and pulled that knife away from her, and said, "What are you doing?" Kind of thing, But I guess this woman was just not, she was trusting or something like that. And she did love the girls. So, she didn't.
Well, she certainly wasn't combat trained. That's certain.
Yeah, that's for sure, But anybody that's got any kind of training at all in self-defense or martial arts, or certainly been in the military.
Or at the very least would have pushed Erica away from her.
Yeah, exactly. Because what's Erica right here? She about 6 or 7 years old, max.
Something like that.
Yeah, 6
Probably
or 7.
Not even 10 yet.
Yeah. Somebody that age is not going to be a serious threat, even with a knife. I mean, you push them away anyway. So, I mean, Erica is really, like you say, she's really capricious too. She's
she is messed up in the head.
Oh, for sure. And of course, you know, she's had a rough life, so I mean, it's kind of understandable, even if you don't agree with it. But she basically, you know, she's got some mental issues going on there, you know.
Yeah.
So
I can definitely understand it, but I can also see that she is turning into a monster. Absolutely.
right. Yes, she is. Erica calls Yoko a dummy. Oh man. See, at that point, when I saw that knife, it had been me, she'd been on the ground, you know, immediately.
Mm-hmm.
You know? she wouldn't have had a chance to use that knife. You know, I mean, I'd have taken that knife away from her. You know, I wouldn't have hurt her, but I would have definitely taken the knife away from her. And it's almost like this woman kind of accepted her fate here, didn't she?
Well, once she got stabbed, she had to. I mean, there was no saving her at that point.
Yeah, that's true. Like a typical little girl, Yoko says, pain, pain, go away, come again another day. So she tells her story right there. Koyoko Bima, okay. It looks like Eric is celebrating. See, Yoko, she's not your mama. She lied to you all along. You know, that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, yeah, you're right, Lee. She's turned into a monster.
Mm-hmm.
I think, too, this woman loves these girls because she's maybe knowing she lost her family and all that kind of stuff, you know. And Erica can't stand this. She hates
Yeah, there's no indication she's trying to actually hurt anybody. She does care about them. It's just,
yeah.
I'll be honest, that other thing that when she was going over how she never took responsibility for her life,
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, in the position that she was in all those panels, what responsibility was she supposed to take there?
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, you've got no money, you've got no power.
Yeah.
Other people have all of that over you. You're gonna what? Bark like a dog?
Yeah.
What the hell are you gonna do?
Yeah, you don't have any responsibility or authority.
Well, you do what you can.
Yeah.
But you're not superhuman.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's not a superhero comic or something like that where you can just suddenly rise up and break your chains. That's not how the real world works.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get lucky and you get an opportunity, hey, you know, so much the better. People have managed to do that. You combination of maybe some circumstances, a little bit of good luck, and maybe having the right skills or tools at hand to break out of a bad situation. It has happened, but it really doesn't happen nearly that often, unfortunately. It'd be nice if it did.
Well, reality is not like a comic book, so
yeah,
it's not a you know, none of us are superhuman, you know. So and yeah, AKA agrees with you there, Lee. So yeah, I don't know about loving the psycho look on Erica's face. You certainly recognize it.
Certainly makes for an entertaining story, if nothing else.
There we have the beginning of the riff between Alita and Erica. That's the very beginning right there. And there's that woman, Koyoko Bima. She's laying in the snow dead with a knife in her chest. End of story. That's the way Koshiro does these things. he punishes his characters and moves on.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, guys, any thoughts?
Nothing comes to mind to me. It seemed to be pretty to the point there.
Yeah, let me put Chaos's link in the chat here. You guys go check this out. Video Chaos just did, I guess. Okay, any thoughts, Angelus? This is going to be a short stream again tonight, but that's okay.
Not of the manga that we never read.
Yeah, this is not chapter 10 yet. If I keep going, I'll read chapter 10 here before I read it in my book. And then Angelus will really give me hell about it. So I'll have to get on the stick here, I think. Any other topics, guys, other than that Disney, we want those sequels? Well, before
Not
we
on my end.
I want to show you guys something. Pull this up. There's the creek. There's Robert Rodriguez right there. That was at our investor meeting. And, you know, I tell you, Robert, he lifts weights. I guarantee you he lifts weights. I mean,
I don't doubt it.
he's got some nice sized guns on him, you know. So, and it was really fun being there. You know, I think we're going to, I think we went over this last week or week before, but just wanted to, yeah, there you go, AKA. Yeah. It wasn't too long ago. Somebody called me Gary Guns. Oh, man. But, yeah, that's, yeah, we had a lot of fun at this thing. And you know, Robert told us some stories and, you know, gave us some advice. One of the things of advice that he did give me that I'm taking to heart is that he uses like 3x5 cards or something like that. And he'll jot down an idea or something like that on it. And he, you know, kind of files that away, you know, and he takes these cards. And when he gets enough of them, he kind of spreads them out on the table and kind of organizes them to put together something, whether it's a project or a movie or whatever it is he's doing, you know. And he puts that stuff together. And, you know, he uses those cards as kind of like something to kick off whatever project he's doing, you know. So, but yeah, that was a pretty neat moment with him right there. And so that, see, you can't see it, but that's one of my Alita Army shirts I got on right there. So, yeah, I tell you, Rob Rod does lift weights. I'd be willing to bet my house on that. I'm telling you, I really would. And see this green back here? We were in the green room is where we were. One of the things he did tell us was that they shot Sin City in this green room. So that was pretty neat, you know. And he had a lot of other stories that he told us and stuff like that. So it was pretty neat.
Calling it Gary's Guns. Gary's Gun Show. Or Gary's Gun Store.
Yeah, Gary's. Yeah. He's going to open a bar called Gary's.
Yeah.
I don't know. Robert's got some pretty damn good sized guns himself there, you know. Anyway, it's funny what he did there. For most people, you know, I didn't get to talk to him very long at all because there was like 120 people at this thing. And, you know, some of these people were trying to get a job or something with him, and I didn't want to interfere, you know. But, you know, one of the neat things about it was most people that were getting, when you get the shot, I think Alita Rave took the shot, I think. Or it could have been Vladi. I can't remember which one of them did. Robert Rodriguez. I don't think he does roids there, AKA. But he, you know, they would just do a thumbs up thing with them, and they'd do a thumbs up. So I got there and I started talking to him. We'd sit down there, and you know, and then when Alita Rave or Vladi, whoever it was, when they came up with the camera, I just did my, you know, I flexed my bicep like that, and he picked it up immediately. He flexed his like that, and we just, you know, did that. And you know, I told him I was going to do a video on this, but you know, since he did tell us some stuff that he didn't want to get out, you know, so we, you know, I told him if I did one, I'd only do the stills. You know, I wouldn't put any of the video on it. You know, so anyway.
All right. Yeah.
So Disney, we want our sequels. Damn it, that's what we want. And so you got to give them to us, Disney. We will turn over our money to you if you green light that sequel. You know, that's all we want. You know, and if you green light that sequel, you'll get our money. You know, that'll kick off merch, games, anime, more anime, maybe some series, stuff like that on Disney Plus or Hulu or something like this.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, maybe, but hopefully, yeah. So you know, we will definitely. It'll be money out of our wallets and purses into your pockets there, into your coffers, Disney. So come on. You know, we really want those sequels. And as Lee has said, we all want 8 sequels. That's what we really want. You know, and when you really come down to it, we'll take as many as they want. If they want to do 20 sequels like they did with the Avengers, we'll do that as well. You know, yeah, that's right, AKA. Come on, Disney, give us some sequels, damn it. So anyway, did we miss anything, you guys?
Nothing comes to mind.
Any final thoughts there, Angelus?
No. Other than we need our seat,
Yep, chaos. Yes.
I will say more when I sound better.
Oh, okay. Oh, you under the weather? I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, he's been a little hoarse. He's been feeling pretty bad.
Well, as you can see from that center panel, Alita does love her Uncle Creek. And that's because he wants that sequels, and she does too. And if you got a problem with her loving her Uncle Creek, take it up with her and you can face that plasma weapon yourself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So tomorrow on Radio Chaos, and I know Maxie will be hosting this because I think Angelus has only hosted one manga reading. That was because Maxie had some heart problems a few years ago. But anyway, you know, we're going to be reading from Last Order again, the manga. So this is manga weekend for the Alita Army, you know, in terms of the Alita live stream and Radio Chaos. And, you know, I tell you, there's a lot in the Last Order. I mean, there's just, it's a pretty long, I think Maxie said that there's enough material. If he did, you know, an episode once a month, that he had enough material in the Last Order manga to last 10 years. That's how much material there is. And that speaks highly of Kishiro's prolific writing too, and illustration, you know, because this guy is you know, he's a machine, you know, he really, you know, really puts it out there, you know. AKA says he really likes your new avatar there, Angelus.
Yep.
Angelus and our queen right there. So anyway, that's cool. And speaking of our queen, there she is right there. Oh, I got the wrong thing there. Oh, well, that's okay. So anyway, she's #1 in the Creeks book in terms of being an actor, you know, so she's really great. Like I said before, we are extremely lucky that Robert Rodriguez picked her to be Alita. Damn, I tell you, she looks like Alita, doesn't she? I mean, she's, you know, definitely Rosa is Alita and Alita is Rosa. So I guess that's the way it works, you know. So anyway, yeah,
well, Weta did model the final product on her, so.
Yeah, exactly. As a matter of fact, Kishiro had said, "Why are you CGIing her? You know, she is pretty the way she is. She could be Alita just like this, you know." You know, but I guess they wanted to do the eyes and some of the other stuff, you know, with the CGI itself. You know? Yeah. So I also want to give a shout out to El Lamont and Jesse Fisher because they brought Screwhead to life. And what I want to see in the sequel, in Alita 2, Alita Fallen Angel, is I want to see Alita and Screwhead team up when Alita takes on Joshigon. You know, that's what I want to see because you know, Elle is really a good actor herself. You know, she's been in a lot of stuff. I saw her in one of the things that she had sent me I can't remember, it was a DM or something on Instagram, and told me about Salvage Marines, I think it was. So I went and watched that. I forget what service it was on, but I watched that, and she was great in it. She got killed off early after about the third episode, I think, or something like that. But she did a great job. She plays like a platoon leader or something like that, you know, and she's got a bunch of soldiers that report to her and stuff like that, and they're fighting aliens basically, you know. So Elle's really good. She, you know, and she's really, we really had a lot of fun interviewing her as well, you know. And Elle says that Jessie Fisher is the most badass stunt woman she ever worked with. So that's a pretty high praise right there. So anyway, I want to see all three of these ladies in the sequel, you know, because they deserve it, you know, all three of them. And of course, in terms of the, you know, if you want to come talk to us after the stream is over, let me put that in the comments here so you can see it. Now, usually I will put this link in the comments, you know, earlier on the stream, but on readings, I don't typically do that. But there's the link, you know, you click on it and you're in the backstage. I won't bring you in until after the stream is over, and you can come talk to us. You know, we're friendly, you know, we don't bite, or at least we don't bite too hard anyway, as they would say, you know. But, you know, we'd love to hear from you if you want to come on, just say hi. You know, after the credits, you know, get through, or after the outro is done, then I'll bring you in and we can just chat, you know. And this is not streamed, this after party. This is like a Zoom call, you know. You just talk. It's kind of like one of the voice channels on Discord. You know, you just come in here, talk to us. Nobody but who except who's on the right now in the panel will know, you know, and you can talk to us. And this is a kind of a neat way to even start getting used to coming into something like this, you know, because it can be kind of intimidating at times. I know when Angelus and I started this Alita live stream, I mean, I wasn't particularly intimidated doing it because I teach classes and you know, I'm pretty confident, you know, in public speaking. But, you know, it was kind of a new experience for me because, you know, for a while there, and I still do this from time to time, push the wrong button. You know, Maxie used to really have a lot of fun, you know, poking me about pushing the wrong button, you know, a lot of time, you know. And Angelus, of course, had, except for the experience that he and I both had on Den's stream when he was streaming, you know, we basically, we had just a modicum of idea of what we were doing. So, you know, we weren't pros at it by any stretch of the imagination, you know, but we had fun doing it, learning it, you know, and then of course we became more proficient at it. And, you know, we just enjoy doing it, and we like talking to folks that come on in the after party. This after party thing is a relatively recent development. You know, we've only been doing this for like 6 months, I think, or something like that, just to give the Alita Army a chance to chat with us, you know. So if you want, you can come on and chat with us, and you know, we stay on for a little while afterwards. Usually when Maxie's on, he and Lee will talk about author stuff, you know, because they're both writers, you know. But you know, we do stuff like we'll play a video, or you know, show some more images, you know, and stuff like that. You know, we'll do that kind of stuff, and just have a great time talking, you know, type thing. Just a quick get together, as they would say. And I just want to remind everybody that we are the Alita Army. We are Alita advocates for sure. We support Alita and Rosa passionately and positively. And that last thing, positively, is the big thing. We are the most positive fandom on the internet. And we are here to stay, Disney. We're going to keep doing this until you give us that sequel. And I got a surprise for you, Disney. We ain't going to quit when you give us a sequel. We're going to continue to do it because we're going to want yet another movie after that. So, you know, we're just going to stay after it, you know, and you're going to, you know, if we're a thorn in your side, which I suspect we're not, but if we are, then if you want to get rid of that thorn, you just may as well just green light the sequel, you know, and then the thorn will be out of your side. Why is that image there? Well, that image is there because I like it. And since I'm the producer and stream manager and button pusher and janitor and chief cook and bottle washer and stuff like that, you know, that's why it's there. And to paraphrase Gruishka, I'm only here for our girl and our queen and the Alita army. And so that only leaves one thing left to do, and that would be to call to action on my count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Film
Film
those sequels,
baby.
baby.
So anyway, we will see you tomorrow on Radio Chaos for that manga reading, and next week we will catch you on the Alita live stream.
Yep, take care, guys.
See ya. Bye.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita Livestream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.
No cause is lost. If there was but one fool left to fight for it.
Yeah, Gary. That'd be nice.